So if you've clicked the link, then, and you have a Defender casing like this, right, where your joystick is just all wore out, a lot of play in it. I don't want to rattle this thing, it's annoying to listen to, but yeah, it's just loose. Then there is a solution. Right? I've been coming up with this solution for several months now, and I think I've come down to a pretty good solution that I think will probably last the lifetime of your game. Hard to make that claim, but you know, I just think it's going to last a long time. Okay, so what you get is a rocker, calling this a rocker, and wings. Right, you get the 4 screws, screw it into the casing. You get an E-clip. You get 2 washers and 2 bearings. Okay, these washers are 6 millimeters in the middle, and they're 0.5 millimeters thick. Okay, very thin, you know, just enough to let these bearings slide on them, right? And then you get a metal casing, a copper casing, and a roll pin. These three I will install myself, as it requires, you know, a little bit of hammering. So I'll get those in there for you. No big deal. The idea, I mean, common sense here, is to put that in the bottom, right? And then slide this one on the top. I can get that in there, right? And then there's a little space in the middle for some of the hard plastic to grab a hold of the shaft. This roll pin goes in there, right? All the way down, right to the edge of the bottom, right? And then your joystick, it's right in there, nice and tight, right? And just enough room to get that E-clip there. See that? And that E-clip fits right on there just right. Okay, so that's the idea. So these 3 things I will put in, will be already installed, ready to go. Okay, and then putting it together is very simple. It's just common sense. Your bearings go in your wings. Right? Washers go on the ends. You put your wings on the rocker, right? Your E-clip and your screws, and you put it in the casing, and you get this right here. Okay? You get this. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. Lighting in here is not the greatest, but you get a nice centered the casing, the copper casing that's right there. Right, you got the metal casing on top. The E-clip is right in there. The roll pin fits nicely in there with plenty of room, not rubbing on anything. Yeah, the 0.5 millimeter washers are just enough in there to give it the play that it needs. And it's quiet, doesn't make any noise. And boy, I tell you what, it took me a while to come up with this design, but it works. So if you're interested in buying one of these, I will have a price below. I'm not sure how much I'm going to charge for these things. I wanted to keep the price way down. I didn't want to have to go and manufacture a whole bunch of stuff, you know, print these on a 3D printer. They're printed with PLA Plus. This is the toughest PLA material that I could find, you know, at a reasonable price. You know, there's some that are outlandish, but yeah, anyway, this is what you get. You get all of this. And yeah, so if you're interested in seeing the other designs, I got more designs that I have purchased over the past few years that kind of gave me the idea to do to do my own, right? And to share this with other people that may see value in this. So if you're interested in kind of seeing that, just keep watching the video. I'm going to pause it for the minute, get everything set up, and then I'm just going to kind of go through 3 of them that I only have 3, but you know, they're 3 of some popular ones that's out there. And I'm just going to go and give my ideas and thoughts on that if you're interested in that at all. So the first design I have is a design I purchased a few years ago. And this is really nice, solid. It's thick, plastic, you know, it's made well. You know, I don't foresee there being many problems with this, you know, other than this is sticking a little bit in there. Something in there is given a little too much leeway. I mean, a little bit too much friction in there for me. It should be able to move a little freer than it is. It's sticking just a little bit. And I played with this for a while. I've had this in my machine. Good. The problem that I see with this is a couple of different things. Okay, one, what if you wanted more of these, right? And you wanted to order some and they don't make them anymore. Manufacturing is an issue with this. And anything that you have to manufacture from an outside source is going to be a problem because material goes up. Inflation is killing us. So material goes up, cost, everything goes up. So the second problem that I see with this, even though it's a nice design, okay, it's a screw joystick. You have to purchase the joystick in order to use this thing, which is fine if you're just going to get one of them and, you know, then you can maintain it for a long time. But, well, what if you wanted several? And then what if they don't make them anymore? What if something breaks, right? And you got a problem and you just need to reorder a small piece or a part for it. Hard to get that. You don't know if they even make them. So I just foresee this as a problem. I wanted something that used the standard, you know, Williams Defender joystick. Just something that had something that's plug and play with stuff that people already have, right? And this just doesn't fit the mold for me, okay? So I'll set that aside. Right. Good design though, I like it. The next one that I bought, as you can see, is this one. And to me, it's made out of 3D resin printer. I like this design. I like the idea of this whole design that I went out and I bought my own 3D resin printer and I came up with my own design with it. And I printed a bunch of them out. It wasn't like this. It was a different kind. I got all these. I got, you know, I printed a bunch more, but I came up with these, you know, just testing it out just to see. Okay, and what I found out is that the wings are okay. You know, these seem to be okay. I don't know how long they'll last because they seem like they'll just chip away. But I made these where this stack was straight up and down. And as you can see, it's chipped. See that chip? And I thought, well, okay, maybe this piece was just bad. So I did another one. I did a third one somewhere. I have it around here. But I kept doing them thinking that maybe I did something wrong with the print. Come to find out that they're chipping whenever you move the stack on this thing, right? Whenever you go to move it, it just chips. It chips away. And so that design is out. You know, that is not going to last for people. That's annoying. So, yeah, I tried it with these, you know, stack straight up, and all these just don't work. There's just one problem or another after each one. So when I bought this one, I thought, man, he's got 3 bearings You got to make sure this is down and facing in, and yeah, this is out. It's got to face in, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to last. He's got, you know, 1, 2 big bolts, 1, 2, 3 bearings, 2 screws in there, and 4 screws to screw it down. So this is where I got the idea of putting a metal sheathing in mine, right? A little metal supporting around the rocker. That's a good idea. Let me see if I can implement that into my design. And so that kind of led me to like, all right, I don't like this design. This is not going to cut it. I got to come up with something better than that. Right. So the third design is to me a great design, right? So you get all of this. Out of the way. So you get this. Very good design. You can see that. Let me get it centered. Okay. All right. So the wings, right? That's where I got the idea for my wings. I like this idea. Very simple. These are hard. I don't know whether they're made from something. They're like hard, really hard plastic. And then you have the rocker, right? Which, you know, the rocker is similar to mine. Right? You look at mine, I kind of tried to design it very similar to that, right? 2 problems with this, okay? Number 1, this is made of metal, and you have to have a company do a die, and they have to mold this and then make it for you. And the cost of these, whereas metals just goes through the roof, it's very difficult to keep the cost down on a product like this, right? That's why printing it in 3D is just cheap, and it's hard, and it should last a really, really long time. So you can always just print another one if you needed it. But this design is great. I love it. I think it's a great design, and it will last a lifetime. Really, it's just fantastic. The second problem that I see with this is this shaft looks like an original Defender shaft. It's not. Okay. This is an original. Okay. And this one is, this one goes with this. This is an original. This is not. I know you can't tell the difference, but this part of the shaft is different. This is shaved down 0.2 millimeters more than this one, okay? Which means that a regular Defender shaft will not fit in there. It will not go, okay? This, you have to buy their shaft to go in there. Great design, right? But the 2 problems is manufacturing this when you want more, and cost, and then having to buy their joystick or the joystick that comes with it, right? That was the problem I had with this one. So those 3 is what I have here. There's others out there, but the 3 that I have here that I can show you that really prompted me to kind of just make my own design, and to keep the cost down, for it to be effective, and for it to last. That was number 1 for me, is longevity. I want it to last a really, really long time. So, oh, and then I was going to tell you about these washers with this one. He has a 0.2 millimeter thickness and a 0.3 thickness. And so you have to put, you have to figure out what side to put which on when you put it in, to give the best tightness that you want. You don't use them all. You only use, 2 on one side and maybe 3 on the other side, or 2 on one side and 1 on the other. You got to figure out which one's which. And it just, even though it's small, it's petty, you shouldn't have to do that. It should be very simple and plug and play. That's what I wanted. Simple and plug and play. And that's what I think my design is right here. Very simple, straight to the point, no hoopla, you know, simple. Yeah, I'm a simple, very simple individual. So, yeah, rocker, wings, bearings, the 3 pieces that I'm going to put in, right? Your screws, your E-clip, and then your couple of washers. And then, boy, I tell you what, it comes out really nice. So anyway, that's just my take on it, my version of it. And it's taken me, I got a whole box full of prints that I did with my 3D printer that is just designs that didn't work. I think it took me 53, 54 tries. I have 54, 55 versions of this just to get it just the right angle on the, you know, on the roll pin. You know, you got to get it just right in there. The width has to be just right for the 0.5 millimeters, and you know, and then figuring out the long supporting shaft and getting the right sizes on the copper and the metal piece, you know. So it took a little while to design. But the point is that I wanted something that's going to last a long time and cheap, and I want to pass that on to other people. These do cost a little bit, but you know, I'm not looking to make a lot of money off of this. I just want people to enjoy it, enjoy a nice joystick without the rattling that you find with the old ones, you know, for a reasonable price. Okay, so that's my take on it. And if you got any comments, leave them. You know, if not, then let me know if you want one. If you don't want one, just put it down below. I'll have prices listed down there. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna charge for these things, but I'll figure something out that's reasonable. And shipping is, you know, should be fairly cheap. This thing is lightweight, so I'll just make sure I put everything together for you, and try to have it in a nice little baggie or something, little box or something for you. Okay, I do appreciate you watching to the end of the video, but if you got any more questions or comments or suggestions, leave them down below. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye.